And we're hot. Here we are. For those people that are watching later, I highly suggest you join us live. It's much more fun. Tonight, I don't have a whole lot on the agenda, but I did get stickers. I'm going to bring us up here so I can see comments. And anybody that has any questions, you're welcome to join live and later and ask questions, all that stuff. Yeah. One issue I've been having. James is here. Good. Hello. One issue I've been having is people are having a tough time getting in touch with me. So, let me write my email address down here on just this piece of. There's my email address. mattyo5@aol.com. Letter. That's a letter. mattyo5@aol.com. Anybody wants tools, anybody wants to ask me questions. Yeah, I've had some issues with people not being able to get in touch with me. So, what do we get? Faust family, eat your heart out. Larry's here. Craig's here. Good. Hello, everybody. Don't have a garbage. Great. It's upstairs. Shucks. Whatever. I'll get it later. So the real question is, what am I going to do with all these? I think I got 400 this time. Should do me for a bit, right? If you're Paul, then your toolkit is on the way tomorrow. The one thing I did get. Wait, what to do? I don't know. Right, no garbage. There we go for that. Brand new on the 266 here. Hey, Tim. That goes in my 272266 pile. Okay. What else do I have tonight? Not much. I want to get that 266 put back together, but I'm still missing the trigger. I think it's coming in tomorrow, so we'll get that together tomorrow. We got rain. Yeah, we got rain too. Although it's going to be dry for the next week. So let's see, what else? What do I have to do? The 266, waiting on that one part, and then we should be literally just completely good to go on that thing. Didn't really get any milling done. I'm ready to go. I just haven't done it. Today actually was pretty nice. It was a really nice day. I got outside, did a little bit of mowing, but that was about it. Don Randall, what's going on? Welcome. Right now, we're just hanging out and chatting a little bit. I don't have a whole lot to do, although it's not completely awesome yet. I guess we'll do a little bit of putting stuff away while we're chatting here. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything like that? Tool questions? Anybody that's here that's just lurking, you're welcome to post and ask questions. That's kind of the idea. Except if you're my father-in-law, in which case, I'm kidding. My father-in-law is usually lurking. I'm just gonna keep putting stuff away here because there's a lot to put away. Wolf! Driving around two crying brats? Yeah. I was on kiddo duty this week. Actually, we got to go to the Essex Steam Train yesterday, which is like one of those Connecticut-y type attractions. If you're from Connecticut or not from Connecticut and you come here, it's basically the one thing you got to do. Need a beer. What happened to my 2mm Allen here? Probably around somewhere. There's 4. Just gonna get this stuff put away. I know, one day this will get a little bit organized, right? I'm gonna throw these. And again, anybody that wants my email address, there it is. They can email me for tools or whatever else. Just inherited a 242 Husky. Hey, Don, you're actually in luck. This is a 42. At least some of the parts will probably fit, but unfortunately, this has been run over. So who knows on here what's good and what's not. If you need anything on here specifically, you can let me know. Or I was just planning on taking this apart one of these nights, and just part it out and see what comes out of it. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff visible on here is probably not good, but certain other stuff internally might be okay. I guess it would be reasonable to start taking this apart. See, the top cover's crunched. Yeah, let's take it apart. Why not, guys, right? Let me get my garbage. Hang on a second. This is kind of messing me up here. Okay. Nathan. Can crank seals keep it from running? Well, indirectly. If the piston is shot because of an air leak and it's not generating compression, oh, you have a Mega is MIA. Good. We didn't need him anyway. Top cover screws. This saw is from Patrick also, but the top cover is crunched enough that it probably is just not even, there's no point here. Yeah, the crank and cylinder should be interchangeable. I'm not absolutely positive on that because I'm just not an expert on these saws, but if I'm taking stuff apart, I just like to pull everything off, and then this gets tossed like that. There's no broken fins on the cylinder head. That's nice. I'm going to start throwing this in a box. Throw it in. Sampson. Welcome. What's going on? That part of the throttle rod looks like it's broken, but the rod itself is okay. The roller there, that's all right. Chris showed up. I think that fuel line qualifies as hard. Great. Pinky finger out. Josh, are you a dental assistant? Or are you commenting that my pinky finger's out? That looks okay. As far as I know, this was running before it got crunched. So, some of this stuff, it's probably fine. That seems to be okay. This is crunched, but there's probably a salvageable stuff here. So let me throw that whole thing in the box. Yeah, this is a 42 special. I'm just taking it apart. I'm interested in selling it. I wanna get this off and sold, but since nobody's offered me any money for it. $10. See, I don't believe Craig, mostly because I'm not sure he's good for it. Chris, you... I'm convinced that Chris does not want to... Oh, you're right. Chris is not going to want to play with this. This top handle is crunched. It's done. I'm going to get rid of it. Starter cover is crunched. It's done. I'm going to get rid of that too. But there's a starter cover screw that is important. You know what I'm going to do? Pieces. That. Okay, which I'm actually going to keep these for the moment. See, most of this is crunched here too, but that would certainly, the center screw would be useful. And these tiny little screws around here, parts. No, that's crunched. Goodbye. Tom Bennett looking at a 372 starts but backfires. Did you check the key on the flywheel? And I always ask the same question on any saws that aren't new. When was its last rebuild? Hey, Sean. Sean, oh shucks, I didn't get you your tracking number. Still out in my car. Sorry about that. You haven't bought it yet. Oh. Well, Tom, get it cheap. If you get it cheap, then, who cares, right? Well, Sean, it's on its way. How long it's going to take to get there, I don't know, but it's on its way. So go away, Chris. Just so everybody knows, Chris is playing around, and it's not funny. Because he didn't buy any tools yet. See, Sean actually pays, Yeah, Sean, I couldn't believe how much it was. I've shipped to New Zealand before, and it was $40. That price, they made me stick it in a different box, but it was $70. It was crazy, crazy expensive. You know what? I'm gonna put this. Will that coil fit? I don't know. Throw. I wouldn't use a 42 coil on a 50. I mean, if it fits, great, but these are pretty rare, so. That's funny, that got crunched. But if somebody was innovative, they might be able to get that back to where, yeah. Throw that in there anyway. AV mount screws. Add that to your next purchase. Yeah, it was. Well, you paid 40 for now. The 30's on me. That was my mistake, but I've now just added that to my next. Anybody that's getting the email, the form letter, now has that as a notification. can get under. Hold it better. That's all. There. I think that's loose. It is loose, just don't. I have a bigger hammer. Feel like using a bigger hammer. It's cute. You haven't gotten to the Johnson rod yet, James. Duh. Have you not been paying attention? And I think there's cracks in this case side half, so there's really no point in salvaging the cases. So we'll get to that later. That's not a big deal. I'm not going to try to push it. Mega, you're leaving us in suspense here, buddy. It's not right. The kids are running around like crazy. It's after 9 o'clock, and the kids are running around like crazy. Let's take. This still looks like a pretty nice part. Little crunch, but really not bad at all. and the piston is darn near pristine. So if anybody's really interested, it should work good. Install the bearings, threaded and wash. It works great. Yep. Thanks, Steve. Glad you like it. Simple. Cheap, simple, easy. Megan, if you go back to my other videos on the 200Ts, I screwed up a number of seals on the 200Ts, and they're $8 a shot. If you buy them separate. So don't feel bad. Yeah, the head looks pretty nice. 42 special, open port. Nice looking head. Piston looks good. You have to throw out the cases, but nice looking 42 head. If anybody wants parts off of this thing, I'll sell the whole part saw here. If anybody's interested, please let me know. I need to get rid of this. I don't need it. That's actually a pretty nice looking head. No scoring, nothing. Looks nice. You haven't tried your Coke can trick? The Coke can trick? It's good. I like it. All that the Coke can trick is good for, though, is for getting the seal over that lip. That's really all that it's good for, you know. But it works. It really works a treat. I like it. Cheap, easy. I like cheap and easy, you know. Where did the circlip go? Great. Well, not gonna worry about it. It's coming apart anyway. that clip is down in there. Whatever, doesn't matter. Piston, totally fine. Still has the machine marks on it. Most of them actually on that, yeah. Pretty good. Nice bearing. Yeah, the super glue idea. I like that, Chris. Try it. Let me know how it works out. I don't know why we got the clunky clunkies in here, but we definitely do. Dan F. Yep, I do. You do what? Watch Leon's parts and chainsaw repair. Dan does. Okay. Pull the clutch off. Anybody interested in this part saw? Pretty nice, some pretty nice stuff here. I'm just gonna. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Matt, you see the Iron Horse kind of way bashed your crank tools? No, I didn't. I didn't. Did he get him from Buckin? You know, since I have an email address and a phone number, if he wants to bash him, he's welcome to call me. You know what I mean? Larry, can you send me the link? Thanks. I'll look. Well, Buckin has my set of tools. So unless iron, you know, it's at least possible that Iron Horse can have a go at my tools, you know. So is this a don't knock it till you tried it type of thing? Where he hasn't actually tried them? All right, so sometimes this is not easy to get out, so I have to get long M5 screws. Use the he's against anything except OEM tools. As far as I'm concerned, frankly, I think Husky should be embarrassed that they didn't come up with what I have. And I'll say that to anybody. I think Husky should be embarrassed. And frankly, Steel too. Because there's no sense in making stuff overly complicated, if you know what I mean. So, oh great. You know, the darn thing, there's a lip. It's funny. There's a lip that wears here and it mushrooms a little bit, and then it makes it hard to pull this off. So I'm actually going to take a file to it. So yeah, I honestly believe that Husky and Steel, the OEMs, should be embarrassed that they didn't come up with what I have. What they have is so doggone specific, and it forces people to buy all the specific tools. Steel has all kinds of tools that are proprietary everything for doing everything. Husky has all kinds of proprietary tools for doing all kinds of stuff. Personally, I just think that's crazy. I think that's poor engineering. You know? Right, what they got it. And the ridges go on the inside. Okay. But yeah, this mushroom, you need it won't come off. I've seen that before. I just forgot. Right. Yeah. I got it, Larry. Thanks. Yeah. Of course, it's their way to make more money, but it just. I think it's backward thinking. I think it's backward thinking. Like, it's the same with the car companies. They make certain things so only a mechanic can do it. I think that's stupid, and I think it's insulting to mechanics because I want mechanics to be doing stuff that mechanics are good for. I want mechanics to be, auto mechanics to be doing clutches and transmissions and the more major stuff that us average folk can't or won't do, Personally, I think auto mechanics doing oil changes is kind of insulting to their skill level. Now, some mechanics probably should be doing oil changes, but you get the idea. Is that when you have a certified technician and he's doing oil changes, personally, I think that's an insult to his skill level. The dental equivalent would be me doing cleanings. Well, technically a prophy. What you get the idea is that if I have to do a cleaning for some reason, it's good that I can do it, but that's not the best use of my skill. right? It's not the best use of how I'm trained. So if you make stuff, simple stuff that's impossible for even mechanics to do, as a company, personally, I'd be embarrassed. If I was an engineer for that particular company, I'd be embarrassed. I saw one particular company made it so it took like an hour long just to get the headlight out because you had to take the front tire off. I forget which company it was, but it's irrelevant. It was some big, automaker that made it so you had to take the front wheel off just to get the stupid headlight in. That's dumb. Okay, what engineer came up with that? I don't know. But then you can, the excuse is, well, they want more money, but you're just frustrating your mechanics, and you want to keep those guys happy. You don't want to frustrate them. You see what I mean? I've used both OEM and Matsu. By far, this is the easiest to use. Thanks, Craig. I agree, but whatever. So yeah, I try to do most of my own stuff. I think with the Volvo, I'm kind of getting frustrated, but go in here. I need to pull. Is this a puller situation? I got to pull this off. And put the oil. Looks fine. I'm gonna put this in a baggie here. Mega. I understand that actually one thing that the companies do, the auto companies do, is they actually design them to go together, not necessarily to come apart. So they design things so it's easiest to put them together, not necessarily so they can be maintained. And as far as I'm concerned, I think that's, I understand the going together part, but at the end of the day, you got to imagine that word gets around that something's poorly engineered, Poor engineering, poor engineering. I just, I get frustrated with stuff like that. .372 clutch side seal is actually easy, Mega. Really. The seal itself is no problem. It's the getting the bushing in afterwards is a little tricky. Alonzo V plastic frame. No, this is magnesium. And this is the famous bearing, which is unobtainium today. Mega, putting it in even is the only thing you need to do. With the seal itself, it just needs to go down flush. But you got to start, slow. Yeah, Larry, I like good tools, and I think it's important to have good tools. But you also have stuff that's just expensive for expensive sake, and I'm not so sure that that's a good thing either. See, unfortunately, this case splitter ain't gonna fit. I can... Whoa, wait a minute. Will it go up? No, it won't. That would have been cool. No. Okay, so that case splitter is out. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this with heat. Nate B. He just recommended OEM. Thank you, Nate. Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate it. All I'm saying is if he was, or if anybody else does, they're welcome to contact me directly. Because, frankly, I've had like nothing but positive responses from them. If the amount of trouble I've had so far has been exceptionally low. Some of the early ones had issue because the center hole was a little bit too big, so they were a little bit weak, and I had a few guys that were using them improperly. So there's that. As long as you use them properly and you're not over torquing things, you use them as they're intended. I've had really great feedback with them. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Don't feel bad when you modify cheap tools. Yeah, it's fine. If you take a beautifully engineered German whatever and you're banging on it, then obviously you're gonna feel not so good, you know. Okay, how do I get this? It certainly looks like this is a seal holder. Well, let's see if the gas tank should come off. That's good. Oh, looks like we got a couple of rubber pieces. Rubber piece there. Am I okay with other people? Yes, I absolutely. There's a reason, Mega. There's a reason I didn't patent it. Is that if somebody else wants to copy it, the design is free to use. What I don't like is when people ask me for dimensions and all that other stuff, blueprints so they can make their own. That's a little over the top. I don't really like that. But in general, if you want to make your own, go for it. Well, yeah. Now the freight costs are. I just sent one to New Zealand to Sean the other day. Yesterday, I think it went out $70, just the freight cost. Okay, a few more screws here. I actually don't know how many case bolts there are. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 5, 6 the anterior bolts, and the one back side. One, 2, 3, 4. It's a pretty sweet stash of parts here. So yeah, guys, thanks for the clarification. If anybody's bashing my tools, then that's A, they're welcome to do that. B, they're also welcome to call me, you know. But certainly, if anybody wants to mention it to Iron Horse, gee, you might want to try Maddie's tools. Again, my phone number is available to him, certainly, if he really wants it. And I understand he wasn't directly bashing, which is fine. This is going to be too big. No, it's not. Haha. I think that's like 1/2 inch NPT. I screw that right down here. This is literally just a part that I got down at Lowe's, you know. You put your puller on here. Oh right, I forgot I need a spacer, that's correct. Some type of spacer. Guess it wasn't on there super tight. Okay. Didn't think it was, but it's just plastic, so it's not pressed on like the other way. Should just slide on and off. I don't know why it was so tight. Okay. By the way, the guys at HL Supply actually came up with something similar, and I think Bobby did a video from HL Supply on it. That's pretty interesting. No playing. Hey Joe, no, this is a 42. A 42 parts, 42 special parts saw. The case has been crunched. But I'm having a heck of a time splitting it. And I really don't want to bugger that seal. You know what I mean? The seal is still available, but yeah, but the bearing's not, right? So what do you think I should do? Just put the heat to it here and see if I can get the get this case half off. I have my puller that I can attach here, but I may have to do that. Just kind of annoying. The C-clamp style splitter is too big. It won't fit. And it's not a matter of squeezing the things either. It literally won't fit. I'm just parting this out, Joe. If you know anybody, that needs a 42 part saw. 2 NSK bearings for the 372 marking. Yep, 6202s. Don't know what the DU stands for, but and Sean, yeah, all the shops here around me don't do a lot of that sort of stuff either. I've gone around and asked. Nobody's interested in my case tools because they don't use them. They just don't have that kind of repair. They literally just sell people new saws and call it a day. Yeah, I can put my other puller on here, so. But let's do that in a minute. Let's take the AV mounts out of here, if I can. And then I need to pull the trigger, which is still good. And that may be it. I'll toss the rest. This got crunched also, unfortunately. The labor for the shops around me, I don't know. Yes, I know there's an actual tool for this, but as as long as this isn't a bad mount, it seemed to hold fine. Let's see if I can get tank vent out. Oh yeah, piece of cake. Tank vent is good. I don't even know why I'm staying up this late. I gotta get up early tomorrow. Missing this guy. My 2mm Allen that I use as a punch. I've been as friendly as a pickpocket. They throw out some great stuff. Nice. That's broken. That is still good. Whatever's going on inside there, I don't want it. Gone. Okay. That's good. Right, now back to this. Jody Parks. I'd like one of your tools. Jody Park. Oh, yes, I saw that message. Forgive me. Okay, so just so how many people? 17 people watching. All right. Just so everybody knows, I cannot give my name on YouTube or my email on YouTube as a reply. Otherwise, YouTube deletes it these days. I don't know why. So here's my email. If you want to shoot me an email, there it is. Maddie05@AOL.com, letter O. Let's see if I can set up the puller here. You got it, Jody? Good. Okay. I don't even know if this is gonna. He's a. Basically need to drill a hole. Lovely. All right, hang on, guys. Well, I woke me up. All right. My silly puller here is just chronically being modified. We're gonna get there, gents. We will. Done. So this is just a piece of 2x2 that I worked on a while ago. Just welded a nut here. I don't think it's quite big, not quite big enough. It's hitting somewhere else. It literally needs like the tiniest bit of expansion. Back to the Dremel. Just gonna keep throwing things around here. I wonder if this pops out. At least not easily. I've never taken apart a 42 before. Never worked on this chassis, so I don't know what the heck's going on here. Right? Modification. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Good. I need washers and nuts and M8. Here we go. No, not that. This out. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll put a couple of washers on there. Good. And no, I'm not watching comments right now. Hang on, guys. I'll get there. A little bit of grease to help hold it. Actually, you know what I really want to do is put other washers on here before I do that. I'm going to go to my threaded rod and washers here. Ooh, there's the other circlet. Found it. Won't lose it now. So I'm going to put a couple bigger washers on here. Just to help spread the load. Because unfortunately, steel bends. And I know that because I've used the puller before. Now this is a puller that I used for my garden tractor, for Pete's sake. So this is not something that I designed specifically for working with chainsaws. It just happens to actually do okay for what we're doing. Okay. That's down pretty solid. So all this does is it basically attaches to the bar bolts, one or two or whatever you can get to, get it there, get it flat, get it down, and it's just a nut that's welded here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take, well, so here's my puller that I modified for 5/8 rod. And again, most of the saws that I do, this fits. Personally, I don't want any saws that doesn't fit. You know what I mean? So this now goes down in here. And hopefully goes on the crank. I can see the crank turning, so I think we're in good shape. So let's see. There it goes. Now, unfortunately, when you do it this way, the bearings can stay on the crank sometimes. So that may or may not be preferable, but that is the way that is. So the tool to iron works with yeah. This is, I have not used this thing to do a pull in a while. I don't like using it. It's convenient when I need it, but I really don't like using it. It's ugly. It's just ugly, you know. I tend to like elegant solutions and know that they're out there, you know. Sean, wait until you try the Real Tools for the first time, I promise you're going to giggle. Tannerite, for science, yes, of course. That makes complete sense, Joe. Positioning pins, don't want to lose those. So when I'm pulling stuff apart, I like to try to save pretty much as much as I can. So, bar bolt, not in bad shape. And I really don't know about the oiler here, so, or the oil vent, I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to toss that. That's one more thing. Have I missed any shout outs to anybody? Have a good night, Larry. Take care. Nate, we're disassembling a 42 special, a Husky 42 special. I got this from Patrick, and I am looking to sell this as a parts saw. So those people that want a 42, or need parts, this is like the holy grail of parts right here. The crank looks fine. Will parts off it fix a 55? Maybe. I don't know. This bearing feels fine. You're going to need to do this and that to it, but... Alright, now for this side... Actually, I wonder, now can I get the C-clamp on here? Now can I get the clamp on here? It's all open now. Yeah. See, now the clamp goes in and fits, but you got to get that other side off first. Slightly off center too, I don't like that. There it goes. Only other thing on here I'm interested in now is the seal holder, if it comes out. I don't know. I am unsure of that. Actually, if somebody's really interested, I bet I could fit this in a large flat rate box. So that would be what, 20 bucks to ship? Well, the seal itself pops right out. This other piece looks like it's not a seal holder at all. It's directly part of the case. Okay, so we can ignore that. That seal is shot. This case half is shot. So I'm not... it's cracked over here, so just forget it. Bye. Yeah, both case halves are trashed. Matt, the best way to remove a bearing... Actually, I do those cold, Brandon. I've done them hot, and then they kind of all disintegrate. So I like to do them cold. Piece of 5/8 threaded rod, some nuts and washers and all that stuff. Wolf, do I want to see you build a 441? No. Not a saw I like to work on. Bearing feels smooth anyway. So, I don't know. I'm going to put this in a little baggie here. Throw this all in a box. And if anybody wants this 42 project, they can let me know. For what's left, I'm thinking $100 shipped is probably pretty reasonable, assuming you're in the U.S. If you're in New Zealand, no. All right, it's way too late. I should go to bed. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. $100 shipped to the USA. Anybody want the parts? Let me know. It's probably worth it. Everybody have a great night. Take care and be safe. And hopefully I'll be on tomorrow. Okay. Take care, guys. Have fun. Be safe. Bye. Go away, Chris.